Good evening to you. It's just about 4.5 minutes past the hour. NTO, Glen Morgan here, and yes, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Sometimes we plan things and they work out, just the way how we would like them to in more ways than one, or the concept that we probably have in our heads. And then sometimes, again, it just don't work out the way that we want it to. But all things work for the goodness of the Lord. Let's see how things would work out for us tonight, if everything will go well. Right here on Smooth Jazzy Grooves. Well, I'm hoping to speak to a fine gentleman tonight, and we'll see how things go, how it progresses. I want you to catch a little piece of this.
I used to be alone, no love to call my own, so I know exactly what you're going through. You need someone to bring a love as fresh as spring. Ooh, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I promise, when winter winds begin to blow, right here in my arms, you will find shelter from the cold. And I promise, when stormy clouds come into you, I'll bring you sunshine to turn your gray sky blue. We started out as friends, 2 heartbreaks on the mend, but I never meant to fall in love with you. Just hope my timing's right, and just maybe tonight you tell me that you feel the same way too. I promise, when winter winds begin to blow, right here in my arms, you will find shelter from the cold. And I promise.
28 minutes past the hour of 11 o'clock. Well, I promise, and a promise is a promise. Good evening, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Glenn, how are you?
I am beautiful. It's wonderful to hear a vocalist who sings as sweet as you are and speaking on my show at the same time. I am truly, truly honored. Good evening to Victor Fields, calling from San Francisco, California, if you will. So, Victor,
Yes.
tell me, or tell our listeners, because I've been reading everything I could read about you, man. Tell me, how is it that you have this wonderful song, this beautiful voice? It's as smooth as they say it is. Tell me how it all started for you.
Well, I started as a young boy, as most musicians do. I came from a musical family. My mother was a really are trained pianists, and so music was in the house, and I learned to sing at a very young age. But when I decided to sing professionally, to become a recording artist, I just took it one step further and actually took some voice lessons from a very prestigious teacher here in San Francisco, David Tigner, and studied with him for 3 years, and I give him a lot of credit for the sound that I'm able to create with my instrument.
Yes, definitely. I could understand that. But I was looking at some notes, and a gentleman, a legendary vocalist by the name of Lou Rawls, has called you the man with the golden voice. So I'm not alone. Definitely, I'm not alone. And I like. I'm just going to mention a couple of things here for my listeners. In this era of disposable popular music and flavor of the month idols, there remain few artists who truly study their craft, sing songs with style and substance, and strive to create a significant body of work that stands the test of time. And I fast forward to the end where they say, recent examples is why this gentleman won't be considered one of music industry's best kept secrets any longer. Well, this is what I aim to do here for people in Toronto. I want them to know about Victor Fields. Now, you've never performed in Toronto.
Never performed in Toronto, but look forward to it. You have a wonderful jazz festival and a very vibrant community up there. So we plan to be doing some touring in 2010, and Toronto is definitely on the radar. We want to come up there and do some work in Toronto.
Well, I think it would be an honor to have you, because, Guy, you really know how to do it. Looking at these CDs, and first I must thank you, and over here, although I've done it already, when we correspond with each other, for sending me this wonderful package of music. I'll tell you. Let me tell you how it started. I happened to, and I'm going to be truthful here. I'm not gonna hold back anything. I was doing a little helping in the studio here, because this is a community-based radio station, and the gentleman who was in charge of the music had asked me to help with the jazz section, because he thought I was very knowledgeable about it, and I think that in some little instances I have a little bit of ideas about it, right? So while I was tabulating information, I stumbled into a CD called 52nd Street. Never knew anything about this gentleman, but when I saw it, what got my attention was the tracks. Right, the tracks. I was looking at Round Midnight, Bluesette, which is one of my favorites, and I will talk a little bit about that. I looked at And I Love Her, which is a song written by the Beatles, right? I think it's Paul McCartney.
Right, yeah, Lennon McCartney.
Right, Lennon and McCartney. Maria, another standard, Walk On By, which was handled by Isaac Hayes and Dionne Warwick in the best way they could do it. And then there's Night in Tunisia, Sophisticated Lady, which was a real classic track done by Duke Ellington back in the day. The Look of Love, Send in the Clowns. And the only two tracks that I wasn't familiar with was the first and the last, which is the one they're hearing in the background, 5-2 Blues and Open Your Heart. And I'll tell you, I had to have a copy of this, because when I got to sampling it, I said, well, this is sounding good. And everybody, I tell I have a sister who lives in Atlanta, and she's been there for many years, and I have a brother who he's an avid collector. I think he's worse than I am, because he probably spent his last penny buying music. Anyway, none of them had heard about Victor Fields. So I was like, well, you got to hear this CD. And I've been talking my head off about Victor Fields all the time. And then one day I just say, you know what? I'm going to try and make some connection with this guy. And that's how it started. That, my friend, is the truth.
And here we are.